the first race of the weekend in Iberian Supercars, and it was pole position for that number 26 car from Toyota Gazoo Racing Portugal. Of course, Francisco Abreu leading the early stages of the race, albeit with Jose Carlos Perez right there on his heels at the start of the motor race. Racar Motorsports number 77 car in amongst it as well, Roberto Faria. We also saw some shifting further back in the field in the GTC class, encompassing Cup and GTX specifications cars. And Rui Morita, who was strong early on, fell through the order. Meanwhile, Gianfranco Motorsports' Nuno Afonso had a bit of a moment in the early stages of the race. That was some of the other battling going on in the GTC class. Lots of shuffling of the deck there, and that Ligier, of course, looking very, very strong indeed. The Chefo Sport by Petrogold Machine, equally strong. The other Promotion Motorsport BMW, the number 19 car, running well in the hands of Javier Mathias and JM Smurg throughout the race in the GT4 AM category. Meanwhile, Nuno Afonso was making his way back through the order for Gianfranco Motorsport after the earlier spin. There was a moment as well for the number 97 NM Racing Team Mercedes, Ricardo Costa going straight on. Meanwhile, the other NM car, one of three of course, Max Huber at the wheel, and he was under immense pressure from Jonathan Engstrom throughout the first stint of the race. The Spanish team, run by Nil Montserrat, of course, NM Racing Team, CV Performance and JP Motorsport collaborating on the silver entry. And it was that silver Mercedes that got the better of the fight eventually. Unfortunately, we had an off-track excursion for the 101 car, Montelos Competiciones TC class entry. Diogo Castro having an off-track moment. Meanwhile, the GTC battle kept going, and that Ligier moving into the lead. The Petrogold entry of Alejandro Iribas. Post pit stop window, it was Thomas Guedes in the lead of the race, only briefly though. And we had debris on the main straight as well, one of many things that would eventually lead to a safety car period. But with the pit stop handicap system, it was certainly a shuffled deck going into the second phase of the race, which Speedy Motorsport and Thomas Guedes used to their effect. They were in the lead. They were under pressure from Matthew Martins in the Aston, but so too Francisco Mora, who managed to move up to second place at the expense of Martins and would soon move into the lead. There was some gravel tracking going on as well on cold tyres, and critically, this move, Francisco Mora to the front of the field for Toyota Gazoo Racing Portugal, but disaster would strike with a drive-through penalty not long after, and that would drop them down the field after building a race lead. So this would become the scrap for the lead. It was Jose de Milagros that was really getting in amongst it there in the BMW M4, getting past Thomas Guedes. His next target was Matthew Martins. And this was the big move. De Milagros getting very audacious on the brakes, getting past the Racar Motorsport Aston Martin, and that would be enough to claim the victory in race one at Jarama for De Milagros and Nerea Marti. What a result for the BMW team.